Have you ever thought about how our actions can sometimes backfire? Let's dive into a tale that perfectly illustrates this lesson. Once upon a time, in a remote village, there lived a salt merchant. He had a daily routine of bringing salt from the city to sell in his village. He had a donkey who he would load with bags of salt, and they would make their way back. Their route was through a river which they had to cross every day. One day the donkey slipped and fell into the river, and so did the bags of salt. As the salt dissolved in the water, the load on the donkey's back became significantly lighter. The donkey, feeling relieved and overjoyed with the reduced burden, decided to repeat this act every day. Observing the donkey's new trick, the salt merchant quickly understood the donkey's cunning plan. Determined to teach the donkey a lesson, the merchant decided to fill the bags with cotton the next day instead of salt. The following day, as usual, the donkey fell into the water. Expecting the load to lighten, the donkey was in for a shock. The cotton, instead of dissolving, absorbed the water and became heavier. The donkey struggled under the increased weight and finally understood the consequences of its actions. From that day on, the donkey never repeated its trick. The salt merchant was pleased, and peace was restored in their daily routine. So, what's the moral of our story? It's simple. Fortune doesn't always favor the cunning. Our actions, especially when they are driven by deceit, often have consequences that we might not foresee. So it's always wise to think twice before we act. This tale reminds us that honesty and integrity always pay off in the end. While shortcuts and tricks might seem appealing at first, they can lead to undesirable outcomes. That's all for today's story, my friends. Remember, life has a way of teaching us lessons in the most unexpected ways. So let's strive to be better and learn from our mistakes. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing.